Do you think that Brock Purdy is going to be worth that amount of money? And do you think that this is the last year for the 49ers to be able to win a Super Bowl if Brock Purdy's about to get paid like $50 million?
I don't think it's the last year, and I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think they
Oh,
might.
see, freaking me and Marco are on the same page right here.
If you told me you get the same, a little better version of Brock from this past season, probably yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are your options then? If you're good, I mean, they're going to be a playoff team for sure, barring 2020 version of them.
Especially just to like prevent Kyle Shanahan from freaking drafting quarterbacks because he's not good at that.
Well, not so much that, but it's like, look, you make the playoffs, you'll probably win a playoff game, maybe two, or maybe you do go to the Super Bowl again. Especially if Brock does ascend more than just a little bit. What do you do then? You're kind of forced to do that.
Yeah. If they miss the playoffs, do you think that they move on from him? I don't think that there's like an option for them to not play him, to not pay him. Is
the only way they
even
go
if they're a first round exit. If they're a first round exit, I think that they'll have to pay Brock. Like I can't imagine a scenario where they don't pay him. You know?
Yeah. I think the only way they don't is
scary because you don't want to be stuck in like QB purgatory or whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're like you're saying, if Brock keeps up his level of production, then I don't think that that's actually that bad for him. I know maybe that's a controversial take, but I think Brock is a little better than people give him credit
thinking
for.
he's worth it, okay, and that's when it's like I'll hear you on that. If you don't
worth
think
it is relative, right? Like you have to go off of Dak Prescott is getting that. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's unfortunately the cost of doing business.
Worth it is
okay, say it's not worth it. You ask him to take less. It doesn't work. Okay, well, you're gonna sign someone to free agency? I don't know who's gonna be a free agent. You're gonna trade for someone? That's not that never works, actually, number one, when you trade quarterbacks. And
also, Jesus, someone would trade for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy could get a first round pick right now if they wanted it. Brock Purdy, if the 49ers don't pay him next year, someone else will pay him. Kirk Cousins, who's like 80 years old and coming off an Achilles, just got paid like $400 million.
You don't understand how the market works then. The way the market works
it's not like
Brock Purdy's
the
next year going to be like, hey,
conversation isn't, is he better than Patrick Mahomes and does he deserve a deal better than Patrick Mahomes? Everyone here has brains. We know that he's not, that level of, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
But that's quarterback market.
Yeah,
it looks huge on paper. I get
it. Everything is relative.
Like 50 million is like
just a salary increase.
You said it perfectly right. But like, remember this: Deebo Samuel got more guarantees than DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. Who's the better player of those three? AJ Brown is, right? I think it's undoubtedly like anyone would take AJ Brown over Deebo Samuel that's not named Kyle Shanahan, and he got more than him. Why? Because he was the last receiver signed.
Yeah.
The market speaks for itself. It's not what we think. It's literally what it says, and there's
no
denying it.
That's why they should be paying Brandon Ayuk right now, because once CeeDee Lamb gets paid, I don't think that whatever JJ makes, I don't think that will affect Brandon Ayuk, because I think he is in a different class. But like CeeDee Lamb and stuff, if I was the Niners, I'd rather pay Brandon Ayuk before him, because I think that there's certain receivers that you can go off of. So when you're thinking about a Brock Purdy, he's going to be comparing himself to like a Dak Prescott who's going to get paid, because they're all in that same caliber. I think maybe when some people hear that number, they think that you're not you, but they think that content creators or media or whatever are saying that like Brock Purdy is as good as Patrick Mahomes. No, you're just basing it off of other people who play your position around your like similar level as you. So,
because what's the other option? Again, you're gonna go in free agency. You're gonna draft one.
I'm interested in this. With a franchise tag, 49ers basically have Purdy under control for the next 3 years for $90 million. It won't be $50 million. I don't think that they'll franchise tag him. I think that they'll extend him.
If he does his job, yeah. If he does his job, yeah, they'll do it. They'll extend him.
Yeah.
I like the 3 years idea. That way you're not like totally invested so heavily in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think you would do something like a 5-6 year deal.
We haven't really seen Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch get to this part of their like regime yet, right? So like a lot of things we're kind of hypothesizing on how they would act. I was anticipating that they would not let a guy like Eric Armstead go. I did think that they'd ask Kyle Juszczyk to take a pay cut, but it is kind of, maybe they're a little bit more cutthroat than we thought, and maybe they will be like, Purdy, you're playing on the franchise tag, or we're not extending you. I don't know. I think I had a little bit of a we're a team type of vibe from them, but maybe Kyle Shanahan is a little more cutthroat than we thought.
I think
It'll
maybe
be
they just
interesting to
assessed
see.
it because they get most of that cap savings after June 1st, right? Because he's going to be a post June 1st if they do go through with cutting Eric Armstead. And those cap savings probably or that cash savings, they probably see like, hey, we're better off putting this money into an extension for Brandon Ayuk than just like holding out. And we'll take the dead cap hit from Eric Armstead because the guy misses like at multiple games every year. And we have no hope that he's going to be healthy again next year. Like,
Anyone who thought that Brock Purdy was better than Mahomes, come on now. We can all like the 49ers and be proud of Brock Purdy's success and not say ridiculous things. Also, Mr. Corgi was pointing out that they can't draft, and he was listing different positions. They've been bad at drafting, just in general. No position group aside, they have been bad at drafting. 49ers Poker says, I agree they will extend him, but franchise tag will set up cap on how much money he can ask for. Purdy will get less because his salary is so low right now. They will extend him, but it will be for less. I'm not a cap guru. I just anticipate that whatever he gets will be like.
if he plays better than
I
he
think
did this
he's going to
past
want
year,
more because he's been so cheap.
if he's paid, yeah,
You were
if
just
he's
saying that with Max Crosby. Like Max Crosby next time is going to be like, all right, I let you. I gave you a deal before. Now I want paid. I feel like that's going to be Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's agent is writing this shit down. Remember before the Super Bowl when Jed York came through and said Brock Purdy is the franchise quarterback and saving the organization and whatever else? Brock Purdy's agent was listening to that and going, writing all that down. And then they're going to come to the table and be very, very interesting. There was some people in the chat talking about different backup quarterbacks that they thought the 49ers should get, and I was going to bring it up, but I think it was Jacoby Brissett or something.
he got signed to the Patriots
As a starter?
He got signed to the
Who's
Patriots. I
starting
don't know if
for
he's going to
the
start.
Well, who's starting for the Patriots? I'm so interested in I don't think he necessarily will put up bigger numbers because he literally was breaking records last year, but I think there's a way because this is an interesting question, and people are asking this last year, like during the season. Do you think that Brock Purdy can get better? My response is I think his stats can stay the same or even get worse, but eye level he could get better. Because I thought he improved. Well, I don't know. He went down a little bit in the playoffs, but towards the end of the year, I thought his O line really broke down. And when I rewatched that Super Bowl, I was more impressed with him the second time around watching it than I was the first time, because I thought that O line did a really bad job.
Yeah. I don't know. It just really depends on what he improves. I think he can improve. It'll be interesting to see.
That's my question for you, really quick. The last one with Brock Purdy. Do you think that he can have a better year?
Yeah.
Next year,
Yeah, I
especially
think
if
he
they
can.
beef
I
up
think it'll be
that O
a
line.
little more of like a cerebral game, I feel like. And maybe Shanahan finally gives him a little more control to the line of scrimmage. That's usually something that they give duties to the center of the offensive line, right? Like those pass protection things. Like maybe he gets more adept at that. Maybe he keys in on more like discoverages, disguises and such. So yeah, I think he can get a little more better. I mean, look, when he came into this year, he didn't remember in 2022, like his thing was like roll out left and like be weird and like his escapes were kind of predictable. Like we
We
didn't
didn't
see
know
that
his
really this
elbow was
this
going to
year.
work. Like, this is his first off season where he's like not rehabbing or training for the draft.
So
Yeah.
I think he'll be a little bit better. I don't see him being drastically better, but I think he'll be like, wow, he's still a pre-5 quarterback and he looks a little better.
I think I like that he said he was going to work on his mobility a little bit. It'd be cool if the 49ers add a
I
little bit
feel
of
like he'll
running.
be
Not
better.
not a lot, but if they use it sparingly enough to like kind of like Patrick Mahomes. I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying like Mahomes has ability and running ability, and he doesn't use it like on Lamar Jackson level or the way that they tried to use Trey Lance, but he definitely used it, I think, a little bit more than Brock Purdy in that Super Bowl. And I think if they did something like that with Brock Purdy, like 3 or 4 runs a game or something, not even 2 or 3 runs, especially maybe later on in the season, not so much in the earlier, like in September and shit, but
Yeah.
I could see that. The last question before I let people go, I just wanted to ask, do you know what they're talking about with Eric Armstead? I was pulling this up because I have no idea.
Oh no.
JD, you'd have to ask Jesse or Ryan. Maybe I can I'll send
Again,
them a
I
DM. And
purposely
if
do
you
not
want
pay
to,
attention to most content creators' tweets or work because I'm trying to do my own thing. Because I'm Daniel Hunter just agreed to terms with
49ers?
no, a
Did
former
he really?
49er coach. What team? What former
Not
49er?
Miami.
Guess again.
Miami?
One more. I'll give you one more guess.
D'Amico.
Yes.
Dude, the fucking Texans are gonna be so
The
cool.
Texans are nasty. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They're a fun team. They're a
He
fun
got
team.
2 years, $48 million guaranteed. The Niners weren't giving him